When I was a little boy in Israel, I used to go to my grandmother quite a lot because I really loved the stories that she told about living. She told everybody about living in Iraq, in Baghdad especially, and how the family did and lived there, and how they mingled with the local population, and how she learned from them quite a lot of tricks about life, and especially how to read in coffee grains. When she immigrated to Israel with all her family, she used to do that. She used to take coffee and read within it what she saw. And when she gained more confidence, she allowed the local people to come and talk to her, sort of drink coffee with her, and then she flipped the coffee mug, and then she would see within the coffee shapes within the coffee mug, and she would tell the person that sits in front of her what she sees in it. And they will tell her about, the difficulties in life. It would be either in their relationship or work or health situation and so on. I used to love listening to these stories. And when I grew a little bit older, when I was about 7 or 8 years old, I could understand Arabic enough to understand what is going on there. And when she stuck in Hebrew, I would help her. So she realized that this boy sitting there and listening to the stories understands enough Arabic to be able to translate what she was saying. So I was a little helper. Every time people come in for her advice, they would bring some things with them, right? Not money, but presents. And seeing me, they used to bring sweets as well. So here I had an opportunity to gain some sweets. And this is what I've done. Quite a lot after school, I would go to her flat, and people will come in, and they will sit in front of her. She will read in the coffee mugs and see what is happening in their life, and they will ask her questions and so on. And she would split the presents between me and her, right? All these gifts. There was enough sweets for me to keep for myself, and also to trade with it in school for homework, or at home doing the dishes and so on. I'll give you a sweet, you'll do the dishes and so on. Great. I remember one day, a man came in to talk to my grandmother, and he was telling her that he feels that people are bullying him, and he feels that people are cursing him at his workplace, and he cannot stop eating, and as a result, he became an overweight. So grandmother told him in Arabic, he didn't understand, I needed to translate that. She told him, well, all you need to do is to fast for 3 weeks. After the first week, it will be hard. The second week, it will be maybe harder. But the third week, you'll be used to it, and then you lift your spirit, and then you lift yourself out of it. So I was sitting there listening to this advice, and I thought, oh my God, this is now, I'm going to lose revenue in here. So I told the man in Hebrew, grandmother is saying, she's telling you a story which you'll understand from it what she means. She says that there were 5 frogs walking in the forest, hopping in the forest. And they were like hopping around, and suddenly 2 of them fell into a pit, into a massive hole in the ground. And the 2 that fell in the ground tried to jump out of this hole in the ground. But they couldn't. The three that were above were shouting towards them, saying, "Oh, you will never be able to make it. You will never survive. You're doomed." And so, but they keep trying and trying and trying so hard. One of them fell to the ground and died. The other, seeing what is happening, jumped so high that he jumped itself out of the pit. And the others looked at him and asked him, how did you do that? So he answered in sign language. "I could not hear what you're saying, but I saw your encouragement, and I thought I should jump out of here." So I told this to the man. He was very satisfied. I told him, "Grandmother is saying basically, it's up to you to listen to what you want or to believe what people are telling you or not." Why I'm telling you this? Because the Torah portion of this week, the Sidra that we read, are in fact double. One is Behar, and the second is Bechukotai. We are going to learn much more about them from Lisa and Karen tomorrow morning. But just very briefly, Behar is dealing with the 7th year, the year of Shemitah. God is telling the Israelites every 6th year, you should leave the land to yield by itself. You should not plow it, not work on it, and I will give you everything that you need. And Bechukotai is telling us about blessings and curses. Blessing, God telling the Israelites, I will bless you and give you everything that you need if you follow my laws, my commandments. And the opposite will come upon you if you're not. Traditionally, we don't read the curses in synagogues, not in this synagogue, as far as I know, not in the last 20 years that I'm here. And it's this point that brought me to think about the power of words, what we say to each other, and what we believe that what people are telling us, and how we take these words to our hearts or not. We don't read the curses. We don't believe in them. We believe that God is a force for good for us. And so we ignore the negatives and the negative words. What I experienced together in our course this year, in the last months that we were working together, is that we did not just share words with each other, interpretation of texts and so on. We showed kindness to each other. And it's this that is the hardest thing to do. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, ve'ahavta lereacha kamocha, which I feel is the hardest thing, is the hardest commandment that we follow, basically. It's really hard to go out of your way and to be kind to other people. It takes quite a lot, because you're not always feeling that way. Learning together with you, I think I experienced quite a lot of kindness, quite a lot of really understanding each other, growing in understanding the text, and how we showed kindness to each other was great to see. And I felt that I learned from you, and I learned with you together. And may we carry on learning together that way. Shabbat Shalom.